Hi guys, I'm sorry that it's been a little while. I was really trying to start off the new year being consistent because I hadn't been before. And then I got hit with like 2 back-to-back viruses. But I'm coming around now. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm still trying to get over it, but I've got stuff that I gotta do, okay? So life goes on. As you can see behind me, well, you can't even see the worst part. You want to see the worst part? There's this mess that goes all the way to the end. And there's also this mess. And I shared this on, I think it was Instagram, like a funny little video about being type B, which is like organized chaos and messy. And I relate a lot to that, and I thought it was really funny. And then I got lots of messages from ladies who are just like me. I want to start this year off fresh, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this whole place up, make it nice and tidy and ready to go because I'm about to start seeds, which is so exciting. It's actually really nice weather for January right now. I think it's almost 50 degrees. It is raining. So all that snow that we had is now turned to mud, and it's gonna continue to be raining for the next foreseeable future. Why? But that makes it a really good day to work in a greenhouse. Now, everything is clean. It feels better. I got everything cleaned and organized, and for the most part put away, and now it's time to play with my new tool, which is really the reason why I'm shooting this video. I have always been a soil blocker, like almost from day one. I think maybe in the very beginning I did use pots, but once I started like a larger garden, I have always been a fan of soil blocks. All of my things just grow better in them. I tried to grow with plug trays last year just because I was watching a lot of other market gardeners do it, and they all use plug trays. And so I was just trying to copy, because I just copy unless I know what, if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just going to copy someone who does know what they're doing. That is the truth. So I saw everybody else using plug trays, and for me, they dried out fast. Like, I couldn't hardly keep them watered. I hated when it's time to plant them, pulling out each individual plug out of the plug tray. And then if the roots were beyond the hole, like it was a mess. I love the ease of ripping soil blocks apart. So for years and years, I have used the handheld blockers, which have worked great for me. But now I am just growing entirely too much to be spending like 3 minutes per tray blocking all of these things. So I got this thing. I ordered this off Amazon, but it is the same soil block brand that Johnny sells and Bootstrap Farmer. It's the Ladbrooke soil blocker, and this is the 35. So this is like the 1.5 inch or a little less. So it's kind of in between. This is a 2-inch block, and this is the mini 3/4 inch block. Lots of things grow well in these tiny blocks. You would be so surprised, especially flowers. They do not need that much soil. But veggies I usually do in this one, and if it's a larger veggie, like a tomato or a pepper, I'll do soil balls, or squash or melons. Yeah, but all the leafy things, honestly, I did in here and they were fine. But this will get me, so these blocks are a little bit, they're obviously bigger than this one, but they're smaller than this one. So I can start everything that I want to grow in this size block. This will save room on your heat mat. That's the main reason why I use the tiny one, just because when you're starting a lot and you only have so much room on your seed mat, you can fit a lot more of these tiny guys. But this, I can fit 105 in a standard 10-20 tray, and get this, I can fill this up with only 3 times. I'm so excited about it. I would spend so much time, and then it makes your hand hurt after you've done so many. So now that I have a clean workspace, let's test this baby out, shall we? While I was cleaning, I found these old gloves. They're waterproof, which is why I'm thinking about putting them on. Oh my God, there's a dead bug in it. That was literally what I was getting ready to. That bug's not dead. I don't know. Ew, it's squishy. It's not dead. Should I chance it and put my hands in these? They've probably not, considering that's a spider. I think I'm not gonna chance that, but I will be right back. Now, I have seen recipes all over the internet and people posting them. I have never used a special soil blocking mix, ever. I just use potting soil. But I do buy high quality potting soil because I find that if you buy a cheap potting soil, it's a lot of sticks and it's a lot of mulch, and that doesn't go well with a soil block, especially these little tiny ones. They hate sticks. So just make sure that you're buying a nicer potting soil. I like to do organic just because it doesn't have any chemical fertilizers in it. But yeah, as long as you make sure that your mix is wet enough, not too wet and not too dry, I've never had any problems with my soil blocks sticking together. Oh, this has a hole in it. Oh my gosh! I don't know why I would be surprised because I do this all the time, but it works! So what you want to do, whether you're doing a stand-up one or a handheld version, you're just going to stick it down in there, firmly wiggle it back and forth, and then you can't lift directly up because you'll lose all your blocks. So you got to kind of lift it up at a diagonal. And then what you want to do is push down firmly at the same time you're pushing the handle down. I like to give it a little extra zhuzh. And look at that. Oh my gosh, one didn't there's a hole. Sometimes that'll happen and you can just make another one to the side and plug one in that hole. Or if you don't care, you just leave that hole empty, which is probably what I'm going to do. Now, I know you guys see me starting seeds right now, and this is for all the new gardeners. This is for all the anxious people, can't wait to start. Do not start right now unless you're in a very warm climate, and if you are, I'm jealous of you. But the only reason I'm able to start seeds right now, for one, I'm starting eucalyptus today, which is an actual shrub, so it takes a long time to start. And two, I'm starting greenhouse peppers today because those also take a long time. I want like a good size plant, and I will plant those in April. So I'm only starting these right now because I have the space. If you're growing outdoors and you're in a cold climate like me, don't do it. Don't fall for it. Believe me, I did the same thing. My first year, I'll see if I can find any pictures and I'll put it up on the screen, but I started my tomatoes either late January or early February. I can't remember which one. And I had literal like 3.5 foot tall tomato plants growing inside of my house, and like 40 of them. So don't start them. I know you want to. I know we all want summer. I know it feels like spring today, but it's not. It's January. Don't start your seeds. I do have an exciting update. About a week or so ago, I started seeing growth on my tulip trays. Now, it's only a couple trays, but I think I'm going to account that to these being the earlier varieties, because I think I have early varieties of tulips and late varieties, and obviously the earlier ones are quicker to sprout. So I'm going to move these to my greenhouse now that the weather's broke. Really, I needed to move them out about a week ago, or I wanted to move them out about a week ago, but the weather was just not conducive. We were like below zero with wind chills well below zero, which is not great for trying to grow things. Even cold hardy tulips, but this week's weather and the forecast honestly looks great. So I'm going to give these babies a chance to grow up. I'm really hoping that I hit Valentine's Day. That was the whole point, but I just really feel like it's not going to. So I've got a couple trays that are mostly all up and sprouting, 75%. And then I've got another tray that's about 25%, but I figured while I'm already bringing these out, I might as well bring the other one. Now you can see just how yellow these sprouts are, and that's perfectly normal because they were in an environment that had no light. They were in my cold room, which is dark, and the right temperature, because I wanted these things to get their roots established so that they can make nice healthy tops. But once these tops are exposed to sun, they'll start to green up really fast. Now one of the reasons why I doubt that I make it to Valentine's Day is just because at least in Indiana, my part of Indiana, January and February are really dark and sad because we don't have like sunny winter days mostly. We mostly have like what you see today, which is overcast, dreary winter days. So I'm not sure if these will have enough sun hours to make it to bloom. Fingers crossed that it does, because that would be really nice to be able to hit Valentine's Day. But even if I don't, it's still a learning experience, and then I know next year to start a couple weeks earlier if I want to do this. But so far I'm really liking just how simple it is. I feel like I could do if I had the market to sell them, I could do endless amounts of these forced bulbs in the spring, as well as the ones that I plant outside, kind of like set it and forget it. But this is really easy, honestly. And another crop that I'm going to grow like this, I think, is gladiolas, because I love them. Some people love them and some people hate them. But I love them. I think they add interest to a bouquet. A lot of older people, because it's an older kind of flower, they appreciate the glads. Every time my mom took them to the farmer's market, all the old ladies love the glads. And I do a really bad job in the middle of the season when I get overwhelmed. I don't think about it. So one thing that I'm doing this year is I have mapped out everything. Everything is on a schedule, which I hate schedules, but I realized that without a schedule, I don't succeed, okay? I'll get really overwhelmed and behind, and then the things that I need to do really just escape me. I'm using the platform that J.M. Fortier and his team came up with. It's called Heirloom, and I think that he only released it to a certain amount of people. I don't think it's to the public yet. I think it's mostly just to growers in his email list, I believe. But I am loving it. First of all, it took me days, but I plugged in all of my information and everything that I wanted to plant, and it gave me my succession schedule, which is the hardest part, I feel like, for a new grower. It's just something that comes with experience. You know when you'll need things and you know how much of something you need, but in the beginning, I just need someone to tell me what to do. And I feel like this helps in that aspect. As someone who likes to have a plan, I like to plan things out. Whether I execute the plan when I get busy is a different thing. That's a different Kim. But the Kim in the wintertime loves a plan. So I'm really enjoying that website. I think it's only $17 a month, and I will be keeping that, because not only does it give you all of your succession schedules, it will give you tasks. Like carrots have a certain schedule. They need like a stale seed bed, and then you plant them, and then you watch for germination. Once you see a couple, you flame weed, then you put there's a whole thing. And it will give you all the steps and automatically put it into a calendar for you, like a weekly calendar that I'm going to print off every week with my task list, my nursery list of things that need started, things that need planted out. Anyway, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really excited about it. I really think that this tool is going to help me stay on track, because your girl gets sidetracked, okay? So I'm going to leave you here because I've got lots of trays to start, and really, how fun is it to watch somebody seed a tray? It's not that fun. You all know what it looks like. But I'm gonna get my peppers started for the greenhouse. I will just tell you my plan for greenhouse peppers. I think the thing that people are most excited about in a pepper after spring is just like a bell pepper, right? Just like a summertime crisp bell pepper. So I'm going to put bell peppers in my greenhouse to have about a month. It should be. If it goes according to plan, I will have bell peppers out of my greenhouse 1 month earlier than I'll have them outside. So I can just kind of supply that early demand because everybody's excited for fresh stuff when they come out of winter time. And I'm just going to do basic bell peppers. So an orange, a red, and a yellow. And then, of course, you can always pick all of those green. If I needed them extra early, I would just pick them early. But yeah, I just wanted to post a little video. I know it's probably not very long and not very detailed, but I'm trying to take it easy coming out of the sickness so I don't get another thing. I'll give my body a chance to recover because I got a lot of stuff to do and I cannot afford to be sick again. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. And that's exactly what Jess from Roots of Refuge says. And I said it on accident, but until next time.